Hi, I'm so glad you joined me. Thank you so much for taking this opportunity to learn a little bit more how you can help your clients. A little bit about me is that I broke my back in a car accident in 2006. I was over 330 pounds, and I wore a turtle shell for 4.5 months, and I had a very hard time during that summer taking care of my personal hygiene and my grooming. The 4 things I really wanted to do was to wash myself, shave my legs, apply medicated creams or lotions to a very raw bottom, and wipe my bottom when I went to the bathroom. And then it was important for me to have that be portable. Because I was obese, it needed to be long, and that was the problem I had. I couldn't find anything long enough that would break down and allow me to be independent and keep my dignity. So we've been shipping this product ever since 2008. We are growing every year, and we get a tremendous amount of response from people who absolutely love it, where it's changed their life. So let me show you a little bit how it works. The Freedom Wand is made with, it comes with 3 pieces, and it also comes with a cloth carry bag. So the 3 pieces come in the package. The package is packaged just like this in a nice little box. It comes with the 3 pieces. Your client can choose to use just the head at 7 inches. Add the handle for 14, or with the extension, make it 21. Now, if you're working with someone that's bariatric and they need it extra long, they can order extra extensions. I do recommend 1 extra extension, but I have had some customers do 2 to make it up to 30 inches. But it can go very easily up to 25. It comes back apart, and it comes with a cloth carry bag, so they can take it with them wherever they go. Now, the way the Freedom Wand works, and I've had the occupational therapist from my local rehab center help me out. When it's 3 pieces, it's only 7.8 ounces in weight. It's got a nice grippy feel on the handle, forms right around your hand. The slide button right here will push the grippers in and out. You can either use your fingertips or the side of your hand if you've got someone who's partially paralyzed and needs to use the side of their hand, they can do that. When the grippers push all the way out, you'll see that they open up automatically. And that is so that it's very easy for them to be able to load. Now, this is a little moisture makeup applicator. You can get 3 dozen in a package. You put that in between the grippers, and then with your thumb, you pull it in, or you can push it in, depending on where the strength is for your client. And it holds that makeup applicator very well. Many people are using that right now that have diabetes, that have a hard time reaching their infected toes, people that have raw bottoms, that have incisions on their back, or maybe the backs of their legs, or on their knee, or on their feet, where they need to get medicated creams or lotions. A lot of people also use it to wash them, to put lotion on their back. So that is a very nice little appendix that the people can use. The other thing is I wanted to be able to shave my legs. So I created it so that it would hold a disposable shaver. So any type of a square shaver that doesn't have any rubber sides on it can go in here. You push it and you pull it right in, and it's a little bit, it holds it nice and firmly, and when you apply the pressure like you would for shaving your legs, it holds it very well. Now, what I didn't think about is men. So men are also using this that have a problem with their shoulders. By taking it and just using the shortened part, they can shave their entire face. And by turning the shaver the other way around, they can actually shave their neck going up. Okay, so you want them to practice with this first and keep the shaver covered while they practice to make sure that they've got the right dexterity and that they can do that. The other thing is washing in the shower. Now, I know there's a lot of long-handled sponges out there, but I also know a lot of them will break, will come apart, will get soiled, and then they have to order another $10 sponge. With my product in the Freedom Wand, if they tie a knot in the loofah rope and make that knot big enough and make that knot very close to the loofah itself, that knot goes deep into the grippers, and that's the key. You always want whatever you're holding to go deep into the grippers, and you pull that in. By holding that and pulling it in, it holds it nice and firmly so now that you can wash yourself and you can wash your feet and your back and your bottom in the shower. It will also hold a lightweight washcloth. So if they're not loofah people and they'd rather hold a washcloth, they can do that as well. Now, the most important part about the toileting, of course, is the toilet tissue. And if you think about it, and you go to the emotional side of this, when you were potty trained or you potty trained your child, it's very exciting to finally get them to be independent. You call dad at work, you call your grandpa and grandma, and it's very exciting that they are finally independent in the restroom. Well, now take yourself back to not being independent. A lot of comments have been, you know, I'm useless. I can't even wipe my own bottom. You know, I'm not good for anything. And that sense of self-worth and self-esteem is not going to increase their ability to heal. It's going to create more stress. It's going to be condemning for them, and it's not going to want to push them forward. So giving them their independence and their dignity back by allowing them to take care of their personal hygiene is what it's all about. I always find it interesting that the hip kits that are out there right now, people get prescribed a hip kit every single time they have a hip operation. And why is that? It's because they can't reach, because they're not supposed to bend more than 90 degrees. You all know all those reasons why they get prescribed a hip kit. But there's no toileting aid in the hip kit. And I think, what would you rather have to have help with? Getting a can of soup or something off a countertop with a reacher, or wiping your own bottom? Well, most people are going to want to be able to wipe their own bottom by themselves, but yet that's not included in the hip kit. So we're breaking some new ground here, thinking about, you know, the dignity aspect and the self-esteem and self-respect aspect of what it actually means when you can't do that and how defeated people feel. And by increasing that self-esteem and reducing that stress is going to promote their healing. So let me show you how this FreedomWand works. And because you can't see this laying down, I'll do it this way. But I like to show on my DVD, the instructional DVD, creating a pom-pom. And all you do is you take the tissue and you just sort of fold it up. And you don't have to do it this way. You can do it one-handed. But you want to create that little fan, okay, that little pom-pom, by pulling that all up. And then making this really a sharp point, a nice thin point. Because the grippers, if you can put your fingertip, your pinky in the edge of the gripper, and it's about that dimension. Whatever you put in that dimension, it's going to hold it nice and firmly. So by putting the tip of the tissue deep into the grippers, and I'll let you get a closer view of this. You put the tip of that tissue deep into the grippers like that, and then you pull it all the way in. It's going to hold it really firm. Now, if that tissue only gets into the tip of those fingers and you wipe, it's going to come right off. If you don't make the pom-pom thin enough and this point thin enough, it's like putting a ball in a square peg and you can't pull it in. The key is to make this tip, pull it in all the way so that the grippers disappear. You can see where the grippers are disappearing. Deep into the tissue, deep into the FreedomWand, I'm sorry, and it holds it nice and firmly. That means they can do their own thing, they can wipe, and then I'll show you, with the slide of the button, you just push this button forward, and it pops right off. And that's the biggest improvement over the current tissue aids out there. One, they're very hard to load. Two, they're worse yet to get the soiled tissue off. And mine popped on the floor, sorry about that. So that is how, in a nutshell, the FreedomWand works. Now, I've had occupational therapists like yourself come up with all kinds of different reasons why people make this work. From taking glasses off their face and putting them back on, which it does, to helping push their pants down, which it does. It holds pencils and pens. So I've had people that are partially paraplegic order this, cerebral palsy, multiple sclerosis, multiple dystrophy, spinal fusions, rotor cuff surgery, carpal tunnel, any kind of spinal issue. I've had some people that have heart issues order this when they can't bend over to wipe their bottom because they pass out. People that have abdominal surgery and can't bend over because of the pain that they have in their stomach and they can't do that. There are multiple reasons. My favorite, which I go to their conference every year, is the Little People Conference. I'm going next week, actually, and I get to spend 5 days with 3,000 little people, and it's just a riot. But their arms are too short. So when I developed this, I had no concept that they would need this, but they have a hard time reaching their bottom. And right now, of course, everybody wants their independence, but including kids in school. And so that's a little bit about who can use it. The product is a smart product. There is a learning curve. The biggest thing is learning how to make this pom-pom. Once you figure out how to make that pom-pom correctly with the type of tissue that you use, you load it correctly, you're going to love it. They love it. They absolutely love it. It's changed their lives. That's the learning curve right there, getting it deep enough and making that pom-pom tissue the right diameter. The cost of the FreedomWand ranges right now on the internet anywhere from $45 all the way up to $120. So I sell with Salmons Preston. There's a lot of online resellers for myself. They can get it from my website right now at $49.99. And right now we're actually sending in shipping an extra free extension. So that's the special for this month. And that is at www.freedomwand.com. To get reimbursed, we've had people get reimbursed from insurances, from some private insurance companies. Of course, it depends on their policy. Medicaid waiver patients are all getting them paid for. If they've been in an auto accident, those are paid for. Some workman's comp is getting reimbursed for them as well. So there are multiple ways that they can submit the application or submit the desire to have this taken care of to see if their insurance company will pay for this or not. But more and more insurance companies are. By contacting me at the 800 number on the screen and the website, I will be more than happy to send you a bunch of brochures if you'd like to have some in your office to be able to hand out. If you have at least 8 people signed up to watch this webinar, I will also send you a free sales kit. So you just need to contact me and give me those people's information and email address so I can verify that they have watched it, and then I will gladly send out that sales kit for you to have in your office so that you can do some dry runs, or practice runs with your customers and clients to see how they use it and how they like it and how it works well with their hand. I think that is going to be about covering it for me today. And I, again, thank you so very much for joining me. I appreciate all that you do to help everyone out there regain their independence and their dignity. Thank you.